play after.
Yeah, absolutely. My pants.
Yeah, banked-in free throws shouldn't count.
No, you always should call it, unless you can call it first.
But nobody would call it. Banked-in shots, you can't prove in the flow of the game, can't prove whether or not he was trying to or not.
Right.
Free throw, you know definitively 100% of the time.
Yep.
No one's ever trying to bank it in. It should not count.
Are you serious?
Nope. Of course.
Or are you being kidding?
No.
No,
If it goes in, it should count.
Well,
Doesn't
that's the
matter
way the
how.
rules are currently
What
written.
if you underhand it? Does that count?
No,
Yeah,
of course.
That absolutely counts.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not pretty, and it goes in.
Yeah, but you're trying, but then you have achieved what your objective was. Because Steven Adams was not trying to bank it in.
No.
Shouldn't count.
No.
Listen, that is a terrible loss, by the way, for Chicago. If you were League Pass watching this game last night, Chicago, just a fourth quarter meltdown, embarrassing. So Chris Paul, I think he had 30, 10, and 8 for the Thunder. He was great, but that game should have gone to overtime. That free throw shouldn't count.
You know who likes to bank it in?
Who?
My 11-year-old daughter. We played knockout. She goes.
And guess what?
She goes for the box.
It should. The Los Angeles Lakers sitting on the best record in the NBA at 24-3. And as a fun reminder, this is LeBron's 17th season, which makes the fact that he's leading the NBA in assists for the first time in his career that much more impressive. And oh, by the way, he's played in every game so far. Here's LeBron on the theme of this season, load management.
If I'm healthy, I play.
That's just going to be your approach all year.
I mean, that should be the approach. I mean, unless we're getting to, like, you know, late in the season, we've clinched and we can't get any better or any worse. And, you know, it could benefit from that. But, I mean, why wouldn't I play if I'm healthy? It doesn't make any sense to me, personally. I mean, I don't know how many games I got left in my career. I don't know how many kids that may show up to a game that they're to come see me play. And if I sit out, then what? You know, that's my obligation. My obligation is to play for my teammates. And if I'm healthy, then I'm going to play. If coach sits me out, then I'm not healthy. And it's just that simple.
A little dig at Kawhi there during the press conference. You think, Nick, that LeBron should take a page out of Kawhi's book and consider load management with where he is in his career and how hard he's been going so far this season?
No. Kawhi's book is its own book and needs to be, I mean, you said it, the theme of the season's been load management because of one guy. And it's hurt the standing of the league. It's hurt television ratings. I think for the average fan, they think the whole league's engaging in this when they're not. It's one guy who happens to be the reigning finals MVP. LeBron's approach is, of course, the correct one and has been his approach throughout his career. Aside from last year, where he suffered a major injury, there's only been one season where LeBron missed major time. His first year back in Cleveland, where he missed a 2-week stretch dealing with a knee injury. Now, it became a bit of a punchline because while he was dealing with it, he went to see Ohio State win the national title, but he missed 8 games in a row dealing with a knee injury. Other than that, LeBron plays 76 games a year at a minimum every year. That's what he's done for the better part of 17 years. The team that invented load management, the Spurs, with Tim Duncan played 74 and 77 games in years 17 and 18. Dirk Nowitzki played 77 games in year 20. The initial load management was, you don't have to play all 82. It's foolish to play when we're on our 3rd game in 4 nights and you're a long-term veteran and you might have a bit of a lingering something. Take the night off. There is no extra machismo and I got to play all 82. But the idea that we would go from where it was, you should play 80 plus, to where it became, which is 75 is a reasonable number, to Kawhi's missed 8 of 28. He's missed a higher percentage than last year when he only played 60 games. It would be devastating for the sport if other people took this approach. And Danny, I appreciate what LeBron said at the end there where he said, I don't know what little kid came to see me play. If you watch them play in Atlanta, wasn't a little kid, it was a grown man right behind the Lakers bench in a LeBron jersey, ostensibly from Atlanta. They play there once a year. He probably bought those tickets 4 months ago. And if LeBron that night, even as a grown-up, for that fan who's what makes all this possible, if LeBron says, I'm taking the night off, that's the worst moment of the guy's sports year instead of the best. He understands his responsibility to the league in a way that the vast majority of our superstars also do. One happens not to.
This might be one of the favorite things I've ever heard come out of his mouth, because I think it is sending a message league-wide. And I do think this was more problematic a few years ago when it was kind of becoming a status symbol. Oh, I'm good enough. I can sit over here, take the night off. I can, load manage. I can take a rest, and I can do that. You'd sit over there in in your nice looking suit. It would be a status symbol. It was kind of a cool thing to do.
And what you're talking about was it was a really tough spot for the league because the two best teams in the West, the Spurs, who were the first team to do it, and then the Warriors, when they had KD, knew they were just going to coast through the regular season. So you had the two best teams in the Premier Conference, both teams engaging in it, which is where it really started to catch hold.
And then Adam Silver sends a stern message to the league, which everybody pretty much abided by except for Kawhi Leonard. But ultimately where we've come now is where Adam Silver can do he can try to do everything. He can try to send letters. He can try to send warnings. He can try to send messages. It has to come from the players themselves that realize for the health of the game, we need to go out there and we need to play when we're capable of playing. And it can't become a thing. It can't be a status symbol. And that's where I appreciate LeBron as the face and the voice of the NBA, sending a message to every player out there that might be considering this. If he can do it, then I can too, because that's really where the message has to come from. It has to come from the players. And if LeBron's out there voicing that message, it's going to resonate throughout the league.
LeBron is much more of a team ambassador, a league ambassador than Kawhi is. All Kawhi really cares about is, can I be there for my team, or what about winning the title for this team right now, whatever it takes. And LeBron cares about the integrity of the league and people coming to watch him and all of it. It's a much bigger conversation with him.
I agree with the LeBron point. The Kawhi thing, we'll see. I mean, the whole, you know what would have helped the Clippers? If they had beaten the Bulls the other night in a 3-point loss when Kawhi sat out his 8th game of 28 games. So I understand that what we've decided with Kawhi, which is the whole reason this is a conversation this year, that no, what he's doing is actually the selfless thing. And some other shows will discuss, is LeBron being selfish by playing? Is he stat chasing? Is he doing these things? As opposed to, you show up to work when you're healthy to play. To show up to work, which has been the constant in all work, is sports or otherwise, since work.
It's
like I mean,
and
since we were hunter-gatherers, if you can hunt and gather, you go do it.
And you get an off season, you have off days. There are times
and
to
nobody's
rest.
saying you got to be all 82.
No.